Hello everybody, this is Lara with your Monday to Friday update for Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP and Solana. Bitcoin's in an upward swing. It hasn't been able to break out to new all-time highs. It's still finding resistance at 71,500 to 73,100. I'm moving back from bar chart data to crypto compare data because the bar chart data was just terrible. It had gaps where it shouldn't have gaps and the volume wasn't complete. So this again is crypto compare data. The structure that Bitcoin's been moving sideways in is a technical pattern. It's a rectangle. They're either reversal or continuation patterns. When rectangles occur in the context of upward movement, they 2/3 of the time will break out upward, 1/3 of the time will break out downward. So on balance of probability, I'm still expecting an upward breakout, but I'm not surprised that we're getting a very small pullback just a little bit below here at resistance 71,500. A couple of days ago, there was a really strong upward session. Crypto compare data shows that the 20th of May had strong volume. Now, the 21st and 22nd so far, the 22nd, it's still the morning in New York, so the session's incomplete, but so far, declining range. This looks like a small reaction after a strong upward session, and this does not necessarily look like a start of a strong bearish movement. Volume for the 20th of May shows a strong increase. Very recently, since the last low, it is upward sessions that have stronger volume than downward sessions. The short-term volume profile for Bitcoin is bullish. For on-balance volume, I'm going to adjust this short-term resistance line. I'm going to sit it across these three pivot highs and look for a break above this to provide confidence in an upward signal and a bullish signal. If we get that prior to price breaking out to new all-time highs, then we may have an advance warning of a breakout from price. So I'll be watching this and the support line pretty carefully over the next few days. ADX has given us a fairly strong bullish signal, not the strongest it can give. It's risen up from relatively low levels. It's got a positive slope. The positive DX line is above the negative. ADX tells us there's an upward trend in a relatively early stage. This supports the view that we may be about to get an upward breakout sooner rather than later. Someone asked me in comments, and I'm sorry I've lost your comment. I did search, I can't find it again. Why am I using 15 and not 25? I spent some time searching through my textbooks that I have on my Kindle. Because I travel so much, I don't have my physical textbooks with me, and I've only got 3 on my Kindle. And I know I saw in one of my textbooks a little box with rules for how to use ADX, but it's not in any of the 3 that I have on my Kindle, and I can't remember the name of the textbook, but I did get it from a textbook years ago when I did my CMT, and 15 is also the default lower edge of this guide for ADX. So I'm using 15 as the cutoff for below that. ADX tells us there's no trend above 15 with a positive slope. ADX tells us there's a trend because I found it from a textbook, and I'm really sorry I can't tell you which one. I know it was there though. I can see it in my head, I just can't remember the title. While ADX has got quite a long way to go before it reaches extreme, RSI is still neutral. There's a reasonable way to go before it reaches as overbought as it can get when this market has a strong bullish run. Money flow is also neutral. This can reach reasonably overbought and then exhibit bearish divergence before a bullish run is interrupted or comes to an end. A tiny little bit of an increase in ATR. I would expect that we might not see a big increase in ATR until after we break out to new all-time highs, and then I expect energy to be released to the upside and see an increase in volatility. Ethereum had a ripper of a day a few days ago on the 20th of March with a good strong push from volume and a little bit of a follow through with further volume pushing price higher on the 21st, and now for the 22nd a little bit of a reaction. Let's look for support possibly now at 3680, although currently price is slightly below that. This huge candlestick for the 20th strongly suggests that at the hammer candlestick at the bottom of the 1st of May, that low for the 1st of May is quite likely to be sustained for the long term. Volume is strongly pushing price higher. This is strongly bullish for Ethereum. I do expect that low of the 1st of May to be sustained for the long term. A few sessions ago, on-balance volume gave a bullish signal for Ethereum. It's moving up strongly. ADX tells us there's an upward trend in a relatively early stage for Ethereum. RSI is only just reaching overbought. There's quite a long way to go before it can reach as deeply overbought as it can get when this market has a strong bullish run. The last bullish run, it reached overbought on the 12th of February when price closed at 2,660. And the eventual high, 4,091 on the 11th of March, several weeks later. RSI can get deeply overbought and remain so for a while when this market has a strong bullish run. Money flow's not overbought, and ATR is starting to show some reasonable increase. This is very bullish for Ethereum. The Elliott Wave count for XRP remains the same, a double combination complete here, a third wave at intermediate, primary and cycle degree. Within that, minor wave 1 incomplete, I expect. XRP's been moving sideways since the 13th or 14th of April after the low here on the 13th, and this may now be an ascending triangle. These are either continuation or reversal patterns, so it comes in the context of following downward movement, so the breakout could be down or it could be up. We need to wait for a break above resistance or below support on a session closing outside of these lines of the triangle on a session, preferably with push from volume. Particularly an upward breakout requires push from volume. Once we have a breakout, then I will calculate a target for you from the triangle. For the short term, the volume profile for XRP is now slightly bearish, from the 20th of May having a little bit of a push from volume. While prices within the ascending triangle, on-balance volume is also constrained. On-balance volume may break out prior to price, in which case it would give us advance warning, or it may break out with price, in which case it would give us solid confirmation of a price breakout. So I'll watch this one carefully as well. ADX is too low to tell us there's a trend, it's below 15. The model of stochastics plus support and resistance hasn't been working so good for XRP. Stochastics didn't reach oversold while price needs support. Stochastics hasn't reached overbought when price reached resistance. Currently stochastics is heading higher, but price is at resistance, so slightly adjusting the model, I would say we might expect a downward swing within that triangle for XRP at this time, down to the support line. I have two Elliott Wave counts still for Solana. This is the main Elliott Wave count only because it has a better fit in Elliott Wave terms. From this high to this low, it sees a 5-wave impulse complete here, and if that's correct, then the correction of primary form cannot be complete there, because corrections don't subdivide as fives, not motive wave structures. So that's only wave A within a zigzag. Wave B may not move beyond the start of A. This wave count's invalidated with a new high above 209.69606. B, a zigzag, fits within a channel. Draw the channel from start of A to the end of B. Place a copy on A. If this lower edge of the channel is breached by a full red daily candlestick below and not touching, I'd have confidence in this Elliott Wave count, and then I'd expect continuation of downward movement to the 0.618 Fibonacci ratio of primary 3 at 114.76449. For intermediate C to move at least a little bit below the end of intermediate A at 119.38481 to avoid a truncation. Truncations are very rare. Don't accept Elliott Wave counts with truncations unless they're explained and occur within the correct context. Alternatively, it's possible that primary 4 was complete here, but as I keep saying, this wave count meets all Elliott Wave rules, but it doesn't have the right look. This is a combination for primary 4, zigzag for W, X, expanded flat for Y, but combinations should be sideways movements, and this has a strong counter-trend slope. It doesn't have the right look. That reduces its probability, but it is possible, and that's one of the problems that you have to wrap your head around with probability. Low probability outcomes like this will and do occur, and when they do occur, they'll never be what you expected as most likely. You have to be open-minded and flexible. If primary 4 is complete there, a couple of targets for primary 5, 936 and 2887, still probably months away. Within it, intermediate 1 may be incomplete with minor 1, 2, minor 3 may be incomplete, minor 4 may not move into wave 1 price territory. This wave count is now invalidated with a new low below 158.37582. So if this alternate is invalidated, then I would have a bit more confidence in the main Elliott Wave count. And just a note about my data for Solana, I'm having to import it manually from Yahoo Finance. That might be why I've got these gaps there. I cannot fix that problem. I'm sorry. I know they shouldn't be here, but they're just... I'm reduced to using data I can get that will import in CSV format into motive waves. So that's what I'm using. Price is moving higher, and we had a pretty strong session for the 20th of May, breaking above what was resistance at 168. Resistance now becomes support. That had some push from volume, but the next downward session was also reasonably strong, although a slight drop-off in volume. But overall, I'm going to read the short-term volume profile for Solana as bullish, supporting the view that we're going to get more upward movement, most likely. The last signal from Solana from on-balance volume was bullish, and that happened before that strong upward movement, so the follow-through from the bullish signal may well now be complete. ADX is increasing. It's not coming up from a low level, though. It's a reasonable level. It's telling us Solana's in an upward trend in a reasonably early stage, quite a long way to go before it gets extremes. This is pretty bullish. RSI is not overbought, nor is money flow, so there's quite a long way to go for Solana before these conditions of this upward trend reach extreme. Upward movement now has a nice increase in ATR as a measurement of volatility, and that is a hallmark of a bull run. So I'm pretty bullish for Solana. I have some doubts about my main Elliott Wave count, despite that intermediate A fitting so beautifully as a 5-wave impulse. And that's it for me today. As you can hear, I'm not well, so I'm going to try and keep this a little bit brief, and hopefully I'll be able to give you your update tomorrow. And thank you all very much for your well wishes. I'm not that sick. It's mostly just, well, I'm a bit sick. And it's just not fair. I got sick when I got to London and picked up a bug in the tube, and now maybe I've picked up something with all this cold water surfing. I don't know, but I don't usually get sick. It's been many years, and now here we are twice in just a few weeks. This has got to be it. It's just got to be over and done with real soon. Thanks for your well wishes.